Hey guys, welcome to Project Defect. This is the do's and don'ts of the car community.
Yes. Fantastic.
Hey, I'm Vash.
I'm Jazz.
I'm Corey. I'm Tyler. This is Project Defect, and this is the do's and don'ts of the car community.
So I, at my job, I worked with a dude who had a BMW E30, and then daily a Daihatsu. Anyway, he went through a breakup, I moved in, working on his E30, trying to get it running. Didn't know what I was doing. Literally had no clue, still don't. Yeah, just that, watching him put coilovers in. He didn't know what he was doing either, like it wasn't very clean, wasn't very fun.
Basic.
It was very basic, yeah. But I don't know. It was just the being in the driveway with your mates, really.
Yep.
So what got you into it?
I started working for a retailer, and that was an automotive retailer, and then I just kind of forced into it. But this is where I am now, and now it consumes me. Like, I have nothing outside of cars.
Well, that's how we met.
Yeah. Whoop, whoop, whoop.
What got you into the car community?
Top Gear. Top Gear.
Really?
Watching Top Gear as a child. I fucking love Top Gear. Can we swear?
Why are you guys laughing? What, can we swear? We're fucking adults here.
I don't know what's going on.
Monetization, guys.
Anyway, sorry, as you were saying.
Anyway, I essentially wasn't allowed to work on a car once, and my stubbornness got the best of me.
Rebellion.
So, a little bit, yeah. So I decided to start a mechanics course and then my apprenticeship, and here we are. Very
Slay.
epic, yes. Are we doing a good job?
It's a mixed place. It's very mixed. Everything's all over the place. It's fucking hectic. Like,
It's toxic.
yeah.
It is toxic.
But it's not always toxic. Like, you have your small off groups, so like the kind of cool
Yeah,
people.
but you've got your big groups of toxic, and you've got your big groups of nice people, and there's no in between.
Yeah, true. There's like, it's like there's a spectrum, and you're either on one end of it or the other. There's no in between.
Yeah.
Which is so painful, because like you meet someone, you're like, oh sweet, are you like a car dude? And they're like, yeah man, I bought this insert generic car here, and then I paid my mechanic to put coilovers in it, and now it's a build.
There's
It's
nothing.
like-
There's nothing wrong with that, to an extent. But when it's your personality,
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I don't know.
Yeah. Dude, you copied my build. My 86 also has bags and wheels.
That's slander.
It's not slander.
It's good. There's a lot of toxicity for no reason, I think. There's just a lot of slander. I hate the slander. But it's nice to be in a community where you like can share your interests. I feel like it's more of a safe space for me.
I wouldn't consider it safe, essentially. I feel like it depends. There's obviously the mindset of like, oh, my car's better than yours, or you drive a shit car.
Yeah.
So it's not really safe, especially here. But I think
Like on the
online
coast.
yeah.
Yeah.
Online I feel like it's a lot safer as long as you stay in your own little groups.
Yeah, fair. I don't know. It's just something about going to like a car meet and stuff, and I like being able to talk with people and enjoy the social interaction with them. Where it's just like I can just talk about cars, whereas like because I don't have to be scared about going up to some random person because I know there's at least one thing that we're both interested in that I can just talk about.
True, but beginners don't really think that way. They are very scared.
Yeah, I was too when I first got into the car community. I remember my first car meet. I talked to no one. I stood in the corner and just looked at all the pretty cars.
Pretty sure everyone does that.
Yeah, it was scary. It's a good place to share your passions, I guess, with people who have the same kind of interests as you.
Interests and the same car.
Same car.
And learning more about other cars that you're not familiar with as well. It's a good way to bond and learn, obviously. But yeah, I feel like that's about it, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, it's nice to. Yeah, honestly, I can't think of anything. Well, it's just a good place to be sometimes, you know.
Sometimes you have to be around the right people.
Yeah, that I'll give you.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. I feel like obviously the negativity
Yeah.
towards other people's builds and how they drive is another one.
It's just the slander. It's kind of disappointing. There's a lot of times where I see cars and everything, and I go to a car meet and I can see people just not have no support whatsoever for other people. Like,
Sometimes the slander is called for. It is deserved. But then again, it just depends. But you're also becoming stronger, essentially, with being bullied and harassed either in person or online. So,
I mean, there's definitely there's some cars that I personally don't like, but I can communicate the things that I don't like about that car to someone in a nice way. There's no need to slander them online or anything. I'm not a fan of that.
if you're joking around, I think it's fine. Because there are some stereotypes on different cars. I hated how I said cars just then, that was disgusting. But yeah, I feel like it's just the negativity about everyone else's car. And like I said before, having the mindset of, oh, you have to have a specific mods on a car to sort of fit in is another negative one. Like,
I mean, the whole
Dano's
purpose.
car's prime example.
The whole purpose of modifying a car is to make the car your own, and to use that to fit into other people's standards, I feel is pointless. If you're going to modify a car, you want to build it for something that you want to do. You shouldn't be taking other people's opinions into it.
Understandable.
Because I build my car for me, and that's why I like it. It makes me happy.
That's how it should be for all cars. Except for Tyler's. Tyler's is different.
What, the SP23?
Yeah.
I'd say the biggest issue is police. Just the one of the negative connotations that we face just for driving on the road.
Ego builds.
Yeah.
Like, if you're building your car, right? It's like, this is a
TikTok build.
TikTok build's a good example. Like, if you're building a car, right, and like, I don't know, you put a turbo on it when it's meant to be an 8, you do all this stuff, but then you buy like rep wheels purely for the look. It's like, is that really a build? Like, I understand not everyone can afford real wheels, but if you can afford real wheels, but you still go reps and you're still trying to flex your car as a nice car, that takes away a lot from real wheels. Because
go budget or spend the
like
money,
if
like,
you
don't half and half it.
even if you have
opinion.
second-hand real wheels, like, you know they're going to be more scuffed and you have more personality behind those wheels than just cheapies that you buy brand new.
Like, there's nothing wrong with building a car on TikTok and like TikToking or YouTubing your build,
like,
but when you build it purely for whether you go for clicks or for controversy.
No. In all honesty, no.
Not here, I feel like. You have to sort of stick with your own little groups first of like, obviously all your friends, and you can sort of branch out that way. You have to be very social. People are quite scared to ask questions, which I don't think, they shouldn't be scared, essentially.
It's hard to find good people first. Like, it's because when you're going up to someone new, you have no idea how they will respond to anything that you say or anything that you do or anything that you have. Like, if you have the car that they don't like. That's why I was like, when I first started, I got my license, had my license for like 3 days, and I came to one of Corey's meets, and it was great. It was lovely because he came up to me and he just started talking to me about my car, and it made me feel like so included, and it was wonderful. Like, it's such a rare thing for that to happen, like, on one of your...
Yeah.
The slander. It's
Yeah.
like the whole respect all builds thing. I feel like I'm not gonna respect a build just because it's got wheels. Like, if you've got a stock XYZ car, insert car here, that's just got wheels. It can look nice. I can appreciate that it looks nice. Just because I appreciate it doesn't mean I'm going to respect it.
Yeah, I understand that.
Yeah.
Might be self-awareness. Like, just some people are so not self-aware. Like, they have their first car that they've only just got, and they think, oh, to me, like, I've put all my money into this. That means it defines who I am. And then they will parade it around, and it's like, just leaves a bad taste in everyone's mouth. Don't you agree?
Yeah.
Like, it's fine if you don't have the nicest car there. Like, realistically, there can only be one nicest car to me. It's fine if that's not you, but you need to understand that. And also, if you've got the nicest car, don't, like, I guess, like, attack people for not having the nicest car. Like,
Yeah, you sort of got to know your place as well.
yeah. Like, if you know you're just new to the car community, your car is not going to compare to somebody who's spent 40 years in the car community. Like, it's just, that's the way it is. And
Experience, money.
Golfs.
Golfs do have a bad reputation.
It's just the burble tunes. I think is what is they're just loud. I have nothing against like Golfs. I think they're actually pretty cool cars, honestly. As long as you're not hooning everywhere is the only thing. I just don't like loud Golfs.
It's based on the drivers. I think Lancers definitely have a bad reputation.
Yeah.
It's one of the biggest insults to have a Lancer.
But
If someone has an Evo and you call it a Lancer, they're gonna cry themselves to sleep.
I mean, it is a
People have
Lancer.
done that.
It's a Lancer
Corey does
evolution.
that.
It is a Lancer evolution, so it's still a Lancer.
Yeah, you have a white girl car. That also has a bad reputation. You look like you're driving your girlfriend's fucking car. So, yeah, because it looked exactly like your car. Oh my goodness. Anyway, yeah, no, Lancers have quite a bad reputation. And it's... I think also Subarus do, but that's more from the mechanical perspective.
Spark
Then-
plugs.
The more head gasket and all the other issues. And the drivers aren't fantastic, but that's obviously very stereotypical.
Yeah, it's big stereotypes in the car community. Not a fan of stereotypes.
I don't mind them, because they're usually accurate.
Subarus. All of them. No, I think it sort of depends on where you are. Like here, Golfs, Subarus, Lancers. It's just about they're nice cars when they're done right, and they're arguably nice cars in general. Like the fact that you can download horsepower to a Golf, like
Yeah.
pretty cool, awesome. It's just the people that drive them and what they do to them. Like driving through Fortitude Valley at 1 a.m. with your gurgle tune while everyone's trying to have a good time. Not cool. Just not.
Might be 86s. Like, they're such well-made cars, and they're so, yeah, amazing track cars. I mean, like, they haven't got the horsepower to back it up, but that's a different conversation. But then the owners come in, and they just ruin it sometimes. Like, I know 86 owners that aren't bad owners. Like, a dude used to live in my street, and he built his 86 to be a track car, doing all suspension mods and stuff like that. And he says straight out the gate, he goes, it's not quick, but it's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
And it's like, man, I respect that. But then you have people coming like, yeah, it's a sports car, yeah, we'll chop yours, do all this. And it's like, oh man, like, stop, please.
I think the fact that it's rear-wheel drive doesn't help, because like rear-wheel drive is goated in the community. It obviously has its place, but not only that, the torque dip that they get, that gives them the bad reputation too.
Yeah.
You go for it.
No,
You go. No, I insist.
I don't want to be the bad dude.
34s.
What?
34s. Supras.
That's in most Skylines. Oh, 32s and 34s.
32s and 34s.
33s get a lot of flack.
A lot of hate.
Yeah.
Show some love for boats.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, like, I don't know. Fast and Furious did taint a lot of it because, like, there was a lot of unrealistic stuff in the Fast and Furious, and people were like, oh my god, like, another thing, Supras. People are like, oh, it's 2,000 horsepower from factory. Like, Yeah.
Because the 2J handles power doesn't mean, they come like that.
Like those, like 2Js are so expensive now. And like the problem is when you build a car up to be so overrated, when they release a new version of that car, everyone's always disappointed. The Mark V Supra, everyone's like, it's a BMW. Like,
They did the best they could, to be honest.
Yeah.
I don't think, like, obviously there's always room for improvement, but I don't think you could have.
Miatas, Silvias, that kind of vibe. I don't know. I think they're absolutely wonderful cars. Like, I love them. I love the way they handle. I love the way they look. The aftermarket support is great. However, they cost so much for what you get with them now. They're just like glorified for what they
Yes.
are. They're fun cars, don't get me wrong. I just don't think that people should be willing to pay so much for something that gives out so little. It's a very good beginner base, but I don't think you want to spend that much on a beginner base.
I agree. I think it's a very similar thing with R34s as
Yeah,
well. They've
yeah.
been I can't say that word.
Glorified.
Glorified, thank you.
Yeah.
They've been glorified a lot, mainly because of the Fast and Furious.
Oh,
Mainly.
absolutely. Yeah.
And they're just very overpriced. Like, just the shell,
Yeah.
insane.
I know. The thing about the Fast and Furious movies, though, is that they had the GTRs in there, didn't they? They
did.
only really used the GTRs. And I think now that people have just seen the shell, they're like, oh yeah, all R34s are really cool. We're all gonna like buy them. They just all get glorified.
Yeah.
And there's a big difference between an R34 GTR and just a GT or a GTST or any of the other models.
yeah, I look around.
I mean, we own 2 of them. And that's probably bias, but
I'll die on this hill. 350Zs, mega underrated, so capable, amazing cars, full of spirit. Not turbo, overheating problems.
no, and like the amount of times driving around in this, like you see it on TikTok, you hear it. It's a girl's, like the MPS. It's a girl's car. It's your mum's Mazda 3. It's your girlfriend's Mazda 3. It's
Yeah.
a stock Mazda 3. It makes no power. Yeah, okay, they're not quick, but for what they are, they're pretty good. Thank you for joining us. First video is always scary. But yeah, no, this has been Project Defect. Follow us here. I don't know what our Twitter handles are. Twitter? Just fucking cut that. Jesus Christ. Follow us here. I don't know what our handles are. Have we even got them all yet?
No,
probably
yeah.
not.
Website's not up. This is very new.
Yeah, very, very new, very raw. But yeah, no, thanks for watching. And disclaimer, these are all opinions.
Yes, everything you hear is opinion based. Like,
Especially from this one. He
Yeah.
loves his opinion.
opinionated.
But yeah, no.
VQ life.
Thanks for watching, guys. Catch us around and make sure to give us a follow.